Hello and welcome back. It is me again, and today, kind of continuing with last time, we're talking about evangelism. Because you see, last time I talked about Christian intolerance, and that is not the only historical occasion when Christians end up creating problems for other people. Sometimes it happens even with the best of intentions. So, a little bit of explaining here. Also, no, I'm working my way down through these challenges, and I may have accidentally recorded 2 episodes while muted. So, I have the original videos linked in the description for this episode and next. For the sake of the continuity of this series, though, I'm gonna be replaying these. I'm very sorry about that. In my defense, I only realized it after 2 episodes. It could have been a lot worse. But also, whenever Windows updates, it ends up completely disabling my OBS mic for some reason, and then I have to manually re-enable it. So that's very fun. Anyway, the host. Back here again, huh? Do I even dare check? Wait, no. It wasn't the host. Duh. I'm dumb. I got confused because I did the Family Man previously. Waka Waka and the host. I knew it was Waka Waka first. Trust me. I only did this like an hour ago. Okay, Waka Waka, which is, by the way, the sound that Pac-Man makes when he launchin' on his orb. So, we're talking about evangelism today again now. I don't know, maybe God thought I needed a second attempt at it. I thought the first one was plenty fine, but who knows. Wow, that's pretty good. Anyway, so just ignore the fact that Death's Scythe and Tech Point 5 might show up in the run, even though I'm not supposed to have unlocked them. Again, if you really want to, you could go watch the muted recordings of the episodes, but I'm assuming you probably don't. I'm not sure I would. Not that I hate myself that much, though. Wow, this is... Wow! Wow, what? Okay, I thought last time the first attempt at Waka Waka was already very lucky because I managed to get like 60 coins within like 3 floors. Actually, maybe even more than that because I was spending a lot of them. Anyway, let me get to the topic, evangelism. So, again, Christians historically have caused more problems than just through coercion, which I generally would say is not evangelism, but there is some room to argue, at least insofar as the differences between evangelism and proselytization go. To be specific about it. And I will gladly take this, because I do not like being cursed. So, evangelization comes from the Greek word evangelion. Yes, that is a Greek word. The word itself means, actually, not quite what you'd expect. It means the reward meant for a messenger who brings good news. Which is curious. Now, it was also used for the titles of all 4 Gospels. The authors of the 4 Gospels are sometimes referred to as the 4 evangelists for this reason. So the evangelists the Evangelion, really, according to Matthew, the Evangelion according to Mark, Luke, and John. So you have that. It did later become the word for good news, although again that was not its original meaning, apparently. Die. There. And actually, Evangelion is the same root word where we get angel from, because if you look at the word itself, it has angel inside of it, which is kind of neat. The term gospel is actually Old English in origin, but it does indeed mean good news, as is often purported. That much is true. It's just not Greek, it's Old English. I don't know what the English were doing coming up with their own word when we had a perfectly good Greek word to describe it. Whatever. Evangelization, also called witnessing, is the act in Christianity, at least. Ow! Ooh. Is the act of sharing the Christian gospel, that is to say, the message and teachings of Jesus Christ. And if you are not very familiar with Christianity whatsoever, which I don't want to make any assumptions, you may not be, Christ is not his last name, it's his title. It means king. The more you know. So, evangelization is actually a command given by Jesus directly. No. Ew. No. And it's pretty unambiguously a command. It's not something you can, really get away from. I am glad this fight came back in this run, because it would have been a little sad to not have it, because it's so wild the way the physics works with Pin. Yikes. Oh. Okay. It's time to visit the shop. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Yes, please. Wow. And I got that way too early. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. My brain is so frazzled because I'm having to redo these episodes. What am I doing? Anyway, 50%, that's actually pretty impressive. Oh. Cool, I can give more. Oh. Huh. So, anyway, the commandment to evangelize, which is called the Grand Commission or Great Commission, is given in all of the Gospels. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and even the Book of Acts. Again, by Jesus directly. So that is Matthew 28:16 through... I got this item again? I got this in the last Waka Waka run. Okay. Alright. And now there is enough reason to fight this guy, I guess. I think. Maybe? I don't know. I'm just going by vibes at this point. I don't know. Whatever. Yikes. Ah! It's just, it's impressive luck. Or maybe it's not a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. Actually, I mean, I kind of do. It's, maybe that's a discussion for another day. Because Christianity and, you know, God being all-knowing and all-powerful and all omnipresent has some interesting consequences, logically speaking. Anyway, evangelization. So, the Great Commission specifically. Again, most famously can be found in Matthew chapter 28, verses 16 through 20, but also Mark 16, 15, Luke 24, 44 through 49, and John 20, 21 through 23, as well as Acts chapter 1, verse 8. Now, the Bible says that it is a command from Jesus, but it does not say what the consequences are, which has led some fringe groups that claim some very outrageous things, such as you must evangelize in order to be saved yourself, which is utterly ridiculous. I should not have killed that guy. Now I am disadvantaged. I did not want the angel room, because I have already received it. Oh yeah, my bombs are magnetic. I saw that item last time as well. What is going on? This is... huh? What? You... huh? Anyway. Some fringe groups have claimed things to, again, the extent that you must evangelize in order to be saved, which is obviously ridiculous. What's the final person on Earth gonna do? If everyone evangelizes, then is the last person just out of luck? Assuming that literally everyone converts to Christianity? But yeah, it's that's no good. No good. No, I was gonna burn you. Wow. I didn't get that last time. I'll give it that much. Face me. I completely missed. Impressive. No, I got this one last time too. I'm getting all the same items. What's going on? Again, evangelization, a commandment. So there's a question here of, why wouldn't you evangelize then? Well, you know, obviously, it's awkward. It requires you having to speak with people. It requires you having to make other people uncomfortable at times. Not everyone wants to talk about religion, and certainly there are going to be some people that are going to be offended that I've even said that much. That you should make people uncomfortable. I mean, that's obviously not the goal here, to be clear. But it is a factor, and you know, if you genuinely believe in Christianity, if you believe in saving souls, then yeah, it matters. You know, it's something you should do for the sake of other people. And if you aren't evangelizing as was commanded, then there are a number of questions I have for you about how seriously you take your faith, or clearly don't take your faith. Maybe you just don't respect Jesus that much, or maybe you don't think that salvation is that big of a deal, or what is this room? I survived? I survived. It's only 7. I need to take that. It's too cheap. Pass up. I did make both. Nice. Get back here. The worst possibility here is that you're selfish in your... I got this item last time too. I'm just... What's going on? The worst possibility is that for whatever reason you are selfish in your salvation, that you believe that salvation should only belong to you and not others. Of course, that'd be kind of ridiculous, so yeah, I'm not going to assume that about you, dear stranger, but seriously, if you call yourself a Christian, you should be evangelizing. It's a commandment. It's for the good of all people, really. It sounds kind of culty when I say it like that, but it's true. I got the angel room? Sure. I kind of wish I got filigree feather now, but whatever. Wait, I have no reason to fight this guy. Oh well. Ah! Yeah. It's expected. I'm just gonna get hurt a bunch. Oh well. And I can't really look at my notes, even though I've already given them once already. Oh well. It is what it is. You smelly. Thank you. And is there any chance of... Where's my planetarium? I know I don't have that big of a chance, but I'd like it. I feel like using it here. I'll go see what's in the shop, I guess. So, yeah, if you're a Christian, you should evangelize, again, for a variety of reasons. And if you aren't a Christian, but you don't like dealing with Christians who evangelize, then I would encourage you, please be a little lenient with them, because, again, it's just them taking their faith seriously. In fact, be skeptical of someone who claims to be Christian but doesn't evangelize, because how much do they really care about you then, from their own perspective? Weirdly enough. Not that I mean to sow discourse between friends or anything like that, but it's something to think about. Yeah. It's gonna be... Oh, it's not. Huh. I thought for sure. Huh. Oh, I almost used a bomb on you. Absolutely unnecessary. I'll take you and skedaddle, I guess. Now, I'd want to mention proselytization and define it for you here. So, proselytization, definitionally, is the policy of converting someone's religious or political viewpoints. And there is a debate whether proselytization should include evangelism. Hello. A second one. I got that too. I got that too. I got that too. I got that. What is happening? What is... What? I have to be confusing both of the runs I did, right? I mean, this absolutely isn't the same seed as my other run, but I have to be confusing both of the challenge runs that I did and then ended up being muted. I have to be confusing them. I have to be. This is way too crazy of a coincidence. I think. Oh. Those chests are on top of each other, aren't they? A hermit. Well, that would have been kind of nice earlier. Equality? Nah. So, proselytization versus evangelization. What's the difference? I walked into that fire, I was blind, but now I see. So, some argue that evangelization is proselytization. Others argue that they're separate because proselytization suggests some amount of coercion or some sort of quota to be met, some other sort of ethical concern, rather than having people's interests actually at heart. Personally, I don't care whether or not you call evangelization proselytization. Even if it has a negative connotation, I just don't like getting into arguments about semantics. I don't think it's very productive, arguing over which definition we're secretly using when we argue. I don't care. I want to get to the meat and bones of the argument, and I'll save that. The meat and potatoes. The meat and bones? What's the meat and bone? Anyway, Christian evangelization, as I mentioned last few episodes really, is by no means, in my opinion at least, no means meant to be coercive, even if Christianity is theologically incompatible with every other religion and worldview. That doesn't mean it should allow any intolerance for the way you treat other people. And I think it's pretty clear on that point too. Only judge those who are inside the church, not those who are outside the church. That's for God to judge, not for you to judge. Let's see. Yeah, hermit time. Extra money, very nice. Whoa. Don't really... Okay, so there's one thing that this run was really missing. To be an identical clone of that other weird run. And that is, I ended, I believe, the Waka Waka run... No, it wasn't the Waka. It was the other one. The other run, the Infested run, I think. Yeah, I think and never mind. Okay, so far this is exactly the Waka Waka run. Somehow. Like, it's a different seed, but I've come across so many of the same items. It's bizarre. Anyway, back to the topic. Sorry about that. Okay, full health. Ooh. What was I even talking about? Let me try and remember. Actually. I mean, I was talking about proselytization. I don't care if you call it proselytization. I want to get into the meat and potatoes of the argument. That's, okay. That's roughly where I left off. So, the upside... There are some upsides to evangelism, aside from the most obvious one, which is, the entire point of it is to save souls. But also, a lot of missionaries have helped to develop written languages for uncontacted cultures. For otherwise uncontacted peoples and cultures, and help write their histories and cultures and practices down, and that's pretty neat. Now, there is a bit of a question as how useful that is to a culture that has passed down all of their knowledge through oral tradition through millennia, versus suddenly introducing a written language. Really, the written language is more for us and our fascination of them than their own preservation, at least in my opinion, but whatever. It still is pretty neat being able to share, to look into some of these specific cultures and see what they're about. But there are some bad sides to evangelism, even if it's meant well, even if there are good intentions. And yeah, so if you wanted to see the actual unlock frame thing, go check out the unlisted video. Anyway, thank you for watching this very scuffed episode, and I'll see you again tomorrow for another scuffed episode. Hope, well, yeah, let's transition here. Use the transition screen, the see you later screen. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you learned something, and I hope I'll see you again tomorrow, where we talk mainly about New Tribe's mission, known today as Ethnos 360, which is a worse name. That is not a good name. We're going to talk about the dangers of contacting uncontacted peoples. Yay! Look forward to it. Goodbye and take care.